Uh, this is the an intermediate report on the survey that we are conducting, and I'm Sheikh Zuhaib, and I'm a doctoral researcher here as well as an architect. And as a part of this project, initially with the discussion of the supervisor, we had we decided to first dive into what kind of retrofit practices are happening in our and to gauge what are the requirements of professionals. So first, as a preliminary survey, we decided to float in and to check what people have to say about different questions. The questions, you cannot get exact information, but it was quite good enough to get some quantitative information rather than just having the qualitative information and sorting it out. So basically, what I would say is that to gauge how effective the retrofits are, how deep they are, how better they perform, we need to find and we need to address this issue of retrofit practices in Ireland. Then only we can achieve the n-ZEB, as everybody has known and seen what the targets are. Achieving this goal is not possible until and unless we find out what are the major loopholes and address those gaps. So basically the purpose of this survey is to find the gaps existing in the practice in the retrofit industry. And so we decided that we are first going to do some data collection and getting responses from across Ireland, from different counties, from different professionals who are architects, engineers, civil engineers, BERs, etc. So we'll be doing analysis of this survey after that, and we'll be incorporating the results and preliminary findings from this survey into the research which we have as different PhDs are working on different areas. So it will be really helpful to know what is happening. So what we did was we sent out an online survey to across approximately 1,280 people across Ireland, which included a lot of professionals and different stakeholders from different parts, and 660 people saw that. Almost half the number see that, and we got 75 responses as of now. But this has now increased to 100. But I'm showing the results of 75 responses as of now. So we got the responses from different counties. And I'm now onto the results. So it's really surprising to see that the maximum number of people who answered my queries were about 28% who were architects, or those are people. And then we have civil engineers and BER assessors. So basically, the response is not quite good enough from the contractors, or I would say quantity surveyors and the other kind of people. So we have difficulty in reaching out to people. That's what I found, that it's not easier to get responses from different kind of professionals or stakeholders, because to have more perspective, we need to reach out to them. So we have things in line in this project so that we can address the maximum needs of different kinds of stakeholders. Now, it was asked in the survey that how many people have done projects in these particular regions or different areas of Ireland. Some people did. So I got about 37 respondents saying that they have done projects in Dublin. And the rest of Leinster was about 30 projects, and then in Connacht about 26. So there's a kind of a question that leaves me here is that there's so much regional disparity in the number of retrofit projects happening in different regions. Just because the technology or there's easy availability of BER assessors or contractors in a particular region, or there are several regions. So it poses a question to different issues, whether to the local authorities or they're not doing too much of retrofits, or there's less technological solutions available in that region, because it is not cost effective to bring something from Dublin to another part of the Ireland and trying to do the retrofit. So this is a big question coming in from this. Now this graph shows that what kind of people responded. I asked them in the survey that what were the major type of retrofit projects they addressed. So this is a kind of graph that shows that mid-terrace houses with the maximum responses received, that they said they have done certain kind of projects. Then there were some educational buildings showing the maximum one, and then people have done semi-detached and detached one. So it shows that this is a kind of building stock we are dealing with, but where we are missing out. We are missing out the public buildings. We are going for the educational one, but here again a questions come to the mind that is the larger building stock typical type promotes cheaper retrofits, or higher margins of profit derive, the project uptakes. So it is about profit, or it is about what we are addressing to. So it's a question to all the building stakeholders that what is deriving the particular kind of housing or particular kind of building is being retrofitted in Ireland. This is a boom thing, the choice of retrofit strategy is my favorite question. Everybody responds, about 92% people said that the cost involved affected the retrofit strategy. So this is a basic question, everybody know it. And the second thing was 55% people said they are comfortable by using the proven solutions or technologies which they have already used. Now this is another thing that researchers, and there's a lot of researchers happening, new products coming to the market, but they're afraid to use it until they know that this works really well. So this is another question with us, that how do we really improve the uptake of different technologies and solutions coming into the market, into the practice or in the industry. So this is a big thing, and about 38% people said that they are comfortable with their personal experience, so they use it. And time is another thing that people go for different retrofit strategies. So about 20% people said that they go for things just because of time. So there is a big gap happening here, and we need to see, and it's a question for all of you to see why is this happening. Now this is a graph which shows that what kind of difficulty people face. So there are the responses here, and different kind of levels face in. Maybe there is no adaptive technology. Maybe you are working with houses, but you don't have something for an apartment building. You don't have efficient solutions for the facades, for the heat pumps, or for the insulation. So people said this is the same thing as the cost. You can see all the graph is going up. It means that people are having difficulty with the cost. And another difficulty was with the insulation. So you don't have really flexible solutions in the market which can be used for the retrofit or different type of buildings. And then people, obviously you can say as skilled labor is a problem, so build upon is a project which is coming in, so such projects are required to help on. So this is a general overview that people are saying that they have problem with this issue. This is another one that the question was framed to know what retrofit technologies are available or what system solutions they're having problem with. So it is very surprising to see that we have 28% people saying that they have problems in having better thermal insulation in the market. They don't have access to good solution to thermal insulation. Now everybody is working with thermal insulation. Now, every retrofit starts with thermal insulation. But why people is seeing that, I am unable to understand. So kind of question posed to you again, that why is this so? And then 25% people say that they don't know. They really don't know what is available or not. And then 24% people saying that there are shading systems not available in the market or different solutions. And another thing is the acoustical insulation. 24% people said that they don't have access to better acoustical systems in the market. So this is the kind of deficiency happening in what is available around us, and then we go for the choices which are available, and then we do the retrofits. So we might not land up with a comfortable house after we do the retrofit. This is another question that was asked, that typically they must tell us what pre-retrofit energy performance they face while they did this, started with the retrofit. So if you see the BER rating of E1 has the maximum responses and different kind of building types. So you have the end of terrace house and semi-detached and all those in the house. So it basically says that from the band of D2 to E2, we have the maximum people saying that the building performance was in this. But what happened post-retrofit? In the post-retrofit performance, people said that they were able to achieve B1 to C1 ratings, which is pretty good. But if you see A1, A2, A3, we still have less number of responses. And especially house of end terrace, they are not in the band of A3 even. So very few people said that they have A2 achieved. So quite a less number in comparison to what people have worked on. This is the post-retrofit performance of building components. Now individually asking them that if you install the building system, maybe insulation or a component like you install the window or the door or ceilings or walls, what kind of results will you get? So people were satisfied that they have walls as a good retrofit performance, but they had problems with you can see this hot water systems, and they have problems with the floors insulation, and so this was a kind of overview showing us that people have problems with certain things and how the market is deriving facade cladding and glazing. They have problems with electrical and lighting. So these are some of the things that people said they have problems with while working on their retrofits. Now I asked this question to know what kind of audit methods are being used when you do a retrofit. People said that they use visual inspection as the maximum way of doing retrofits. They did retrofits by checking out things, how building is performing, how the insulation is done. So the site audit methods that they said that 80% people said that visual inspection is what we did, and that about 32% we have airtight tests, and then less on. So it is another question coming in here that is this really a good method, visual inspection? So we all agree that it is indeed, but if we do some thermography test or we just test out on other measures, it will be easier for us to find the loopholes in the building. We cannot just check on different how the building is performing with the visual inspection. So it is a method to check on, but it cannot verify 100% what performance are you going to get once the building is retrofitted. Maybe you are aiming at B3, but you might not get it. This is a kind of question that was asked, what kind of analysis tools are being used? So it's a very general thing that everybody knows how building information modeling is being used, but you don't find it cost effective, you don't find consultants to work on, you might not have information of such softwares or different technologies. But now, since when we are going to achieve the nZEB by 2020, we need to inform ourselves of the technologies available around us. I asked a question, about 27% people said it's important. 3D modeling, somewhere I got about 30%, and then computational fluid dynamics, which is really important to know the airflow inside and outside the building, should be monitored because we are dealing with airtightness and everything. So most of the responses, 50% people said that they are not sure what it is. It shows that there's a lack of information among people how different software tools or technologies can be used. And then building energy simulation, about 31 people said it's important. So people know it, they might not use it, or they might not have time to do that because they are not earning huge profits on the retrofits. So there are several questions coming out of this also. This is very surprising to see that I asked a question about consultation to the users or occupants. About when it was asked that the consultation was with occupants for about 21% people said that it's sometimes they used to consult the users or the occupants 21 to 24. So it's not reflecting good image that the users are not involved in decision making, because it's ultimately the users or the occupants who are affecting, or their behavior is affecting the retrofits that we are going to do. So this is another survey result. So the problem with this survey is that we have a kind of weakness of the method because we cannot reach out to all the people so much, and we have to go through this online thing, which you might not fill it on time because you find it tedious or lengthy, and then respondents lack information, limited access to obtain information, and outreach to professionals. What we have future plan of getting more responses, getting to go with the structured interviews as well, and then we'll be doing some filtration of data, conducting the depth study, and including a feedback.